What's up, guys? KnightSky back again with another episode of the SkyCast podcast, and this week's guest is none other than the Littz.
Hi, everyone.
Also, everyone, make sure you subscribe to the Littz.
Subscribe to the Littz. You won't regret it. Dab.
I think before we get to anything, we should probably give some background on that phrase. So, if you haven't seen my New York vlog, or actually Litz's New York vlog as well, we went for the Smash Bros. Ultimate launch. And it was like during a particular time in the line, like he started following this huge group of people, and all I could hear you screaming was like, "Subscribe to the Littz!" like the entire time.
Yeah, when you're out there in like these big crowds and events, like just like throwing your name out there like any way you can, people will like pick up on it and like get interested. So
Especially if you say it enough times, like they'll be like, "I wonder what the Littz is." They look it up, bam, new subscriber,
mm,
all that good stuff. But yeah, so we coined that term, and actually for a while here on the Skycast, each member has said subscribe to the Littz after each episode. So there you go. Now you know the backstory, and we have the Littz here right with us right now.
it's truly an honor.
No problem, man. But to get things started here, so you all know that Shy Guy Steph was one of the first members of N10 Plus, but the Litz was I guess you could say the other half. So he was also
Mm.
the other first member that joined N10 Plus. So I guess probably give us some backstory behind that. Like what were you doing before N10?
Before N10, let's see here. I was just a guy with a phone, to be honest. I started doing YouTube seriously back in January, very inspired by C&D's launch line videos
Mm.
and Rachel Kalarnik's live streams. And I saw that like they were out there making content, like talking about what they loved, and people loved what they were doing too. And I thought I could do the same thing. Like it was just like very inspirational to me, but I didn't have like all the fancy equipment to start out with. All I had was my phone, and I would just live stream myself poorly playing Super Mario Odyssey and stuff like that. And I never for a second thought I was going to get to where I am today. It was just when I got my first like ever viewer that day, which was Rachel, my community just built off of that like a snowball effect.
Mm.
Everyone was like, I was shocked because everyone was there for me, and like no matter what like the condition was with quality and stuff. I learned throughout this that people don't care about quality. People care about having fun and interacting with the um content creator
Mm.
as much as like hold on, I'm getting all like sidetracked and
No,
stuff.
it's fine. Don't worry.
It's all about connecting with your viewer than the quality, you know?
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with that. Because you all got
And
you
then
have to start somewhere at least, you know.
mm, and then I through it all, I just the main thing that kept me going was I believed that one day I'll be great, like one of the big YouTubers, and I still keep that mentality, and it's gotten me to where I am today, and it's only going to get me farther.
Yeah, that's definitely a good mindset to have. You know, you want to strive for to be like a really famous YouTuber one day. So you got. I mean, it's hard work. I mean, we all know
Mm.
that. I mean, you guys have probably seen my recent videos just saying how hard it is.
Yeah, it's
Especially,
definitely not as easy as people make it look.
yeah. But then you have like those people who like they'll upload like a video and then that thing just goes viral and then they get like what 200,000 subscribers overnight.
Mm.
Yeah, but well, that's not what we're talking about. You know, they have their stuff, but we have our stuff here as N10 and N10 Plus. They got some
Mm.
pretty nice guys. I mean, you've heard their voices before. You've seen their content. But
All the passion is there in each and every one of
oh
us.
yeah, absolutely. I can definitely agree with that. But I'll give my little backstory here in regards to Litz. So I say this with like most of the N10 members and N10 Plus members. The only person I really knew about was Radical, and then a little bit of Linkachu. And then like when we talked about adding N10 plus members, like that was the first time I was being exposed to people like you and Steph and Dag, and seeing your content for the first time. I mean, like you see people that like you've never known before, and you see how very similar they are to you, and that's something I really appreciate about like the N10 community, because you have people who love the same thing as you, and that's what makes it that much more of a stronger community. Is what I think.
I 100% agree. I first found out about N10 during the summer. I was first introduced to Hylie and Luke, then Linkachu, then Key of Time, and then Miss Neko Tendo. And little did I know that like those four people I watched were part of like this greater community. And as soon as I heard about the N10, I was like my eyes turned to stars. Like I was amazed by this. I couldn't believe there was a group out there that loved Nintendo as much as I did. I looked up all of you guys. I subscribed to all of you guys. I was just like amazed, and I was like, I I love these guys. And when I heard about the N10 Plus, I was not gonna give up on that opportunity to try to be a part of a family that I am a part of now.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Like it's an honor to have you, man. It's really cool,
Thank
just
you.
having this. Like you said, it's a family pretty much. It's more than just like a partnership or just like people who have similar interests. Yeah, I would totally agree with that. And
Mm.
and what's cool, what I think about is the year. When did you become a member? Like October, or was it? It might have been sooner.
It was like around late September, early October, I believe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And then to meet up with you in that December of the same
Mm.
year, like it's pretty cool, is what I gotta say.
I know N10's making the big
Oh
moves.
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, going back to my vlog, you guys probably saw like the first time I saw them, I was like, "Yo, what's up, guys?" And then we all had our cameras out and like, "Yo, it's KnightSky. Yo, it's Nintendo Cisco. Hey, it's the Litz." And
Mhm.
it, I feel like it was either you or Cisco who said it, but like meeting up the first time in person, it wasn't awkward. Like if because you already knew each other so well that like you're just like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" And then the hugs and all like the cool moments that we all shared together while in that line. I definitely gotta say it was everlasting memory that was left there.
Yeah, one of the greatest moments of my life, to be honest.
Mm. Like there's so much that I could talk about the line itself, like not just hanging out with you guys, but all the people that we met. Like in front of us, behind us, we especially like a few spots ahead in line. We usually like kind of get out of our spots and just talk with them for a good amount of time before we went back. And then we kept doing it over and over again.
Yeah, everyone was so chill in that line. It was it was like you've known these people like your entire life. Like
Mm-hmm.
you could just like walk up to anyone and just talk about Nintendo and anything in general. Like during like the line, it's not like a any kind of public gathering. It's what's the word I'm looking for? Like uh uh oh, I'm so sorry.
That's fine. Like
But like
yeah,
what I'm trying to say is that anyone like could just like like friendly to each other, you
it's
know?
inclusive.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that as well, because like I would say the Nintendo community is pretty much its own thing in regards to the gaming community, because it's people are just so welcoming, you know, like you probably have never met a person like at all, and then you meet up with them in the line and you're like, oh, you're practically like best friends now because you both like Nintendo and Smash Bros and Pokemon and all that cool stuff.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's definitely a highlight as I mentioned before, and hopefully we can do it again in the next couple of years. You know, definitely frequently more meetups, all that good stuff.
I'm 100% down with that.
Yeah, definitely. But before we move on to the next topic, what stuff do you do with your stream? So Litz is pretty much a streamer. So what kind of stuff do
Mm.
you do on your streams?
I do all kinds of stuff. I no, honestly, like
Yeah.
I I play through like I play the number one thing on my channel is the Breath of the Wild streams because I really don't know anything about The Legend of Zelda, and mostly everyone in the N10 does. People just like to come around and just watch me fail, and like every time I like do something so simple, it's just like amazing for them to watch because they know how terrible I am at.
There's the
So
entertainment in that, though, like watching someone learn for the first time. Just
it's like they they just like to watch me be a goof no matter what I do, and I don't mind that because like they still love me, you know?
yeah, I get what you mean. But yeah, definitely like those kinds of everything streams are definitely what bring in like different types of people. And that's how you build a community up. Sure, it's nice having like a community build up of people who only like a certain video game. But if you have like many different people with similar interests, but also maybe different interests as well, that what makes that's oh god, I can't even talk. That's what makes a community pretty much, you know.
Hmm.
But yeah, but moving on here to our next topic. It's recent, but it's not recent at the same time. I say it's been a good 2 weeks probably.
Mm.
I don't know. I probably have to check. But yeah, so this recent Pokemon Direct, even though it was 7 minutes, according to my video, we got some pretty nice stuff in regards to Sword
My
and Shield.
mind is honestly blown from that trailer. The major step up from Pokemon Sun and Moon to Pokemon Sword and Shield is like astronomical to me. Like this is the game that we've been waiting for that's going to push everything to like a brand new level. And I'm super hyped for it. You know, this is
Yeah.
going to change Pokemon.
Oh, absolutely. That's a Pokemon game. It's a core RPG coming to Nintendo Switch. Tons of people are gonna like experience it for the first time. Like returning fans are gonna see a new generation in a new style on a new console. Actually, yeah, this is besides Let's Go. This is the first actual Pokemon game on a console. So that's actually pretty cool to say. Not just a handheld.
Yeah, this is Pokemon's first official debut on the Switch, and Nintendo knows how to play it right. They've been building up to this moment.
Mm. Now, when I think about that, a lot of people kind of wonder, will it have connectivity with a 3D with like Sun and Moon, because that way you can transfer your Pokemon over. That's something that
I
I would definitely want.
I believe Pokemon Bank will be ported to the Switch.
That would make sense because if you link your accounts, you can just like swap them over pretty much.
Mm.
That probably doesn't mean that you can get them back though. So like once like what was it? Generation 5 to Generation 6. Like it was Black and White to X and Y. It said like you have to transfer your Pokemon. Once you do that, you can't take them back. That's probably the case with this.
That's another thing the Pokemon games got to work on, because the reason why the Gen 4 games and Heart Gold and Soul Silver like are still like some of the best to date was that you never lost your Pokemon like through trading. Like you could just trade them through each old and new and still get the same Pokemon you had back.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But like, yeah, I wonder how they could probably work that out. Like depending on either I guess like probably certain Pokemon have to stay back. Definitely like the new generation Pokemon can't go back to Sun and Moon. That
Oh
would be
yeah.
kind of cool, also kind of weird at the same time though.
Mhm.
I don't know how they can make that work. But, it's a new Pokemon game. They said they're keeping stuff. They said that they're changing stuff up, and you never know what could happen.
Yeah, the best part about new Pokemon games is the speculation and rumors that come with it.
Mm.
It's way different than like rumors like guessing the next Smash fighter, the next Super Mario Odyssey DLC. With Pokemon, it literally honestly could be anything. And some of the
Yeah.
leaks for Pokemon actually turn out to be true in the end when you least expect it. No one believed the Sun and Moon starters final evolutions were what they were today.
That's right.
Like
Yeah.
that's like what makes it so fun, because anything could happen in Pokemon, and if it does happen, we just like love it and accept it anyway. you know.
Yeah, I love that. Like, and you're right. The uncertainty of what's actually coming. Like,
Mhm.
you got a limited amount of things revealed that leaves the rest up to the imagination. And uh, I remember, especially when Sun and Moon was like announced, and it was like building up hype and all that. Do you know the YouTuber Loxton?
Yes.
His Pokemon theory on Sun and Moon, even though it wasn't technically right, it was still amazing. Like, I it made me want that to actually happen.
I'm with you 100%. Like when people like come up with these theories, like right now a popular one is that Kalos could be a potential post game for
Mm,
Sun and Moon.
that would
Like
make sense.
the stories like people are coming up with, like how Pokemon Sword and Shield has to do with this great Kalos war that happened 3,000 years ago. Like we're expecting like all this great story, and even if it doesn't happen, just like imagining it is enough to like keep us waiting, you know?
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Pokemon. I guess he's not really a Pokemon YouTuber, but this guy Loxton, he has a YouTube channel. He did this theory on Sun and Moon, talking about how it was going to be the last game, but a complete reset of the Pokemon series itself. So he was talking about like past villains coming back, like some like Pokemon mythology happening with like Arceus trying to destroy the entire world or whatever. Like these huge like crazy theories that he backed up with a lot of like real world stuff, like what was it, talking about like alchemy and a whole bunch of things, how different Pokemon names are kind of represented by flowers and things like that. And it was crazy, and I really wanted it to happen, honestly.
Yeah, same. The best part with Pokemon is that these dark stories do have the potential to happen because Pokemon is just like leaves its doors open for these opportunities, like with the mythical Pokemon, like areas that are in the games but unexplorable, and not knowing everything about like a Pokemon like Meltan. Like we don't know its origin and it could like be anything, you
Mm.
know?
Yeah, that's right. I almost forgot about Meltan there for a second.
Mm.
So maybe it might have a bigger impact in the story for Sword and Shield. Actually, speaking of which, what do you think about the names Sword and Shield?
Sword and Shield, I am really happy it is Sword and Shield because when people do these speculations, the names kind of like get ruined, and then when it's something like no one's ever predicted before, you get that relief kind of like
Mm.
it's still nothing no one suspected, and you're happy it is, you
Yeah.
know?
Actually, though, I think I saw like a video was made like in early February. There was like a fan made trailer for Pokemon what Sword and Shield actually.
Oh,
So yeah, I guess it was, I don't know, either someone like leaked it to them or they just came up with it randomly though.
that's the thing with Pokemon now is that people are like could guess anything these days, like
Yeah, the names could be anything, honestly. Like it showed us, um, yeah, like think about it, like X and Y sounded cool. Then you move on to Sun and Moon, like okay, that's pretty cool. And then here Sword and Shield, like wow, anything could be a Pokemon game, pretty much. Like
yeah, it just
I'm
doesn't lock itself to like one
yeah,
thing.
like I'm pretty sure we're getting next one. I'm calling it now. It's gonna be Pokemon Fork and Pokemon Spoon. I'm calling it
And the
now.
thing is, it's probably gonna be like the coolest game ever, the fork and spoon
Oh,
Pokemon.
absolutely! Like the legendaries are, yeah, and they combine to make a spork or something.
Yes, and then the third game, knife.
Oh my god, yes. Oh, there's see like it's something like that. Like because the names are no longer locked to like, what was it? It was like stones for a bit. It was well, yeah,
Yes.
like ruby, sapphire, emerald, diamond, pearl, platinum, and then it was a couple like the monotone black and white, then X and Y. Then they did the remix of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, then Sun and Moon. So yeah, it really could be anything at this point. So that's like you said, like the imagination can be very useful when it comes to like determining Pokemon game names, pretty much.
And that's the beauty of Pokemon. Like anything could happen.
Yeah, like you talk to a couple people and like who haven't played Pokemon, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not really a fan of it. I'm like, well, what's not to like about it? I mean,
Yeah,
Sure.
Pokemon caters to everyone, especially the Gen 1 fans out there.
Oh yeah, and especially because it's an RPG. I kind of forgot about that like a while back. Like, oh yeah, like this is like a type of RPG. You have your type advantages, you have your attacks, you have your, your limit, you have your amount of moves you can use. You have all like this really tactical stuff that you have to use within the game itself, and you get to explore areas, find items, gain experience, evolve, things like that. It's pretty much just an RPG.
Mhm.
But
RPG at its finest. Like, they don't have to be like warriors with swords for it to be.
yeah. But hey, you never know. We already have a couple Pokemon who are basically swords, pretty much.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, what's his
With
face? Aegislash is a sword and a shield. Actually, what if Aegislash is the actual legendary Pokemon? Then it would have been a Pokemon we met before. That actually be pretty interesting though. I don't know. Probably not going to happen. I'm calling it. Yeah, but we just gotta wait until they give us more announcements. I'm pretty sure it's coming out in November of
oh
this year.
all Pokemon games released in November. I think it's safe to say.
Oh yeah, I think when did that trend start? Was it with X? No, X and Y came out in October.
It started with like it actually started with Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire,
In
I think.
November, yeah, because I remember Black and White came out in like April, I think.
Hmm.
So yeah, I don't know why they switched it from like spring to late. Like, oh probably holiday season, because they
Yeah.
Nintendo knows that so many people love Pokemon. So like, why don't we just capitalize on that and just sell it during one of the busiest times of the year, so that we can get more money off of it. Which honestly, I'm happy to give them my money for those games.
They could. Pokemon is like my thing. Pokemon was what got me, which is what introduced me to Nintendo because my first ever like real video game was Pokemon Fire Red, and I still have it
Mm.
in my room today.
So I mentioned how I like my one of my first games was Super Mario Bros. But my first kind of introduction to Nintendo was through Pokemon cards. I thought Pokemon was just the trading card game. I didn't know it was a full fledged video game, anime, all movie series, all this stuff. I just thought it was the cards. So
Same here.
yeah, so
My
like,
one friend,
oh no, sorry,
like
go ahead.
Pokemon card. Oh, I'm sorry, but Pokemon cards when I was younger were the drug in school.
Exactly, same with me. Like I remember it was probably like first grade they were banned because that's all we did was trade and we had them out during class and all that.
Mhm.
But yeah, like it was like its own little kind of like black market almost. Like you'd have people like trading stuff for Pokemon cards and all that. So yeah, now I can kind of see why they kind of banned it. But regardless, Pokemon was all the rage.
And it still is.
Yeah, definitely. That's the beauty of Pokemon right there. So, like I said, expect more stuff probably in the coming months. Maybe towards E3, definitely. We might get like some more gameplay and some legendary reveal. So, yeah, I
Yeah.
guess we'll have to find
During
out.
Sun and Moon's review, um, like debut, we've been getting like new Pokemon during the summer, like almost like every other week leading up to release.
Yeah, yeah, you're right about that. So here's hoping we get some more. Definitely.
Mhm.
So yeah, so that's all the time we pretty much got. Once again, there's no time limit, so I guess when all's said and done, that's where we end it. So thank you guys so much for watching this week's episode. If you liked it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the Litz.
Subscribe to the Litz, everyone.
Definitely. Yeah, do you want anything else you want to say before we end this?
Um, Subscribe to the Litz.
Oh, okay, there you go. You had it. 2 subscribes. See, there you go. Now you have to subscribe to the Litz. You can't say no this time. He asked you twice. And no YouTuber ever asks you more than once to subscribe. Wink, wink. Anyway, we're just gonna end it here. So thank you guys for watching. You know all the drills. So I'll catch you guys in the next episode. All right, see you later.
Bye.